Before Cyrus, the world of the great kingdoms was not stable. Powerful cities rose and were broken. Empires conquered and lost what they had taken. Babylon had been attacked again and again. Its rulers were overthrown. Its people resisted. And its story returned to war. Egypt stood ancient and proud. Babylon ruled with old prestige. Lydia held wealth and power. And Media stood as the greatest kingdom of its time. For a moment, these powers held each other in balance, but this was not true peace. It was tension. Then, from the heart of that world, a new force appeared. Cyrus the Great. The world that Cyrus entered was not empty. It was already ancient. Civilizations had formed at the center of the known world. At the center of this world, there was a region where life gathered. Between rivers, across fertile lands, and along the paths of early exchange, civilizations took shape. As these civilizations grew, power began to concentrate. Kings emerged, cities expanded, and control became the center of the system. But this power was never secure. Power did not create stability, it created rivalry. Kingdoms rose against one another, and what was built could be taken away. This world was powerful, but it could not hold itself together. Its strength was real, but it had no lasting order. It remained a system of conflict. In such a world, change was not a choice. It was inevitable. And from within this system, a different kind of power began to form. Cyrus did not emerge from emptiness. He came from within this world, shaped by its structures and its conflicts. But what he would create would not follow the same pattern. Cyrus was not simply a conqueror. He understood the world he lived in, its powers, its limits, and the patterns that held it together. Where others sought to dominate, he began to organize. Where power had been used to destroy, he used it to build something more stable. What began to emerge was not just a new ruler, but a new idea of how power could exist. An order not based only on force, but on structure and continuity. This was the beginning of something larger than a kingdom. A system that would reshape the balance of the ancient world. And at its center was Cyrus the Great. The first step was not sudden. It began within the structure he already knew among the Medes, where power had long been established, and slowly that balance began to change. What followed was not just a rebellion. It was a shift from one center of power to another, and this shift would redefine the region. With this shift, Cyrus did not simply replace a ruler. He redefined what rule could be. Power was no longer only about control, but about how that control was structured. This was not only a change in leadership, it was a change in how different peoples could exist within one system. Instead of destruction, there was integration. What began here would grow far beyond these lands, not only as an empire, but as a way of organizing the world. And this was only the beginning.